Michael Lyons is an accomplished illustrator and author, but has recently developed a video podcast devoted to Ojibwe language and culture. And while there may be several such podcasts or similar online web-based tutorials for people to choose from, what makes Michael's efforts stand out is his use of puppets, music, and humor to help others learn and keep a language alive.
Okay, bid again. Boozhoo ni Janashanabedog. Nana Boozhoo indigenous cause.
Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo started about 6 months ago. I'd been sort of thinking about it. I said, wouldn't it be cool to have something that was sort of a cross between Sesame Street and like the movie Smoke Signals?
Michael Lyons is an accomplished illustrator and author, but lately he has ventured into a new creative medium with a video podcast that incorporates the Ojibwe language. His program is titled Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo.
For years I'd been doing a character that sounds kind of like Thomas from Smoke Signals. You know, remember, hey Victor, where's your dad? Well, that kind of became Nana Boozhoo. So that first one, he was teaching coffee, and it was all about, makade mush kiki wabu. The response online had, the bar is so low. Everyone loved it. My second one was called Niwi Saga I need to go to the bathroom. And he basically comes out and goes, okay, let's make this really short. I gotta go to the bathroom. Niwi Saga And he just kind of bounces around. And he goes, and like within a day there were 3,000 hits for that thing. I was like, what? There's basically kind of three main areas that Nana Boozhoo covers. One is an Ojibwe word of the day. Nana Boozhoo also tells Ojibwe stories. So like this morning I did one where he tells the story of how Beaver got his tail. And then the third area that we sort of do is like a music video.
All right, let's try this. Why don't you get a close-up on my hands?
But then it's just sort of following kind of children's show format. And so the podcast will have him, the word of the day might be coffee, and then he'll break for a song. And the song really has nothing to do with Ojibwe necessarily. But, then he may tell a story, an oral tradition story, and say goodbye.
Michael has toyed with a longer format for the podcast, but has found that a shorter production holds the attention of the viewer. For a show that might run 10 minutes, there is at least several hours of production time put into it.
I could do a podcast in half an hour, but I love to tweak it now, and I've been exploring special effects and stuff like that. So now I can play around with a podcast for 3 or 4 hours and then end up with 10 minutes worth of actual footage. I already had a little bit of an audience on Facebook from the Ojibwe comic strip. So I knew there were probably around 200 people who would at least be familiar with the concept of me putting something creative out that had to do with the Ojibwe language. But I was also a big fan of podcasts just on YouTube. The whole thing is produced just on a Movie Maker download and a pretty inexpensive camera. As the months have gone by, new casts of characters have come on. There's a dog, a stuffed dog that has been the engineer. And during one episode we learned that his name is Anamush. They all have like Ojibwe names. I wanted to create something, just my sensibilities as an artist is sort of cartoons, cartoonish stuff, something kids like. But teaching the language, gives me a vehicle to create these characters and these scenes and use music. And I want to make something that's entertaining and engaging and maybe inspiring kids to learn it on their own.
And the use of modern technology might be the right tools to spur their interests.
I just got interviewed last week from a magazine here in Bemidji, and they asked Tony Troyer about that. He's a language, you probably know. And he was very nice about it. He says, Michael's show is very innovative, but then of course it has to be. He was saying that all of our language stuff needs to keep up with the times, especially if anything we're trying to impart to the younger generation. All the kids I work with, and a lot of them don't come from money at all, but they all have a phone. So I think it's great to use modern technology to talk about traditional stuff. And also, you know, sometimes I think language revitalization efforts can suffer from too much, like, well, we have to do this in the traditional way. In fact, I'm still learning. I probably present myself as a fluent speaker, but mostly, you know, I'm learning as I'm creating.
Okay, have a good night. Gig Wabaman. I'll see ya.